Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how I do my eyebrows. It's probably one of the most requested videos that I get, and I'm finally going to sit down and show you guys how I do it. And first I'm going to show you real quick what I use so I don't have to, when I'm doing the actual tutorial, I don't have to stop and explain why I use it or what it is or whatever. Okay, so the first thing that I have real quick is the Stigma Brow Powder, and I use the one in medium. And it looks like this. I use it because it just seems like it's the perfect color for me. Both the colors I use are just perfect. I really love them. Basically, I use the darker color on the bottom of my eyebrows, and the lighter color goes on the top of my eyebrows, which you'll see in a minute, but it's just the perfect color for me. I really like it. I've been using it for a long time, and I just love that it's in this little thing. I have one in my purse, and I have this one. And the next thing that I use is a concealer, and I use the MAC Studio Finish Concealer. And you can use any concealer, really. It doesn't have to be this one. I can use any concealer. It doesn't really matter. I just have this one separate, put aside separate for my eyebrows. You can also use an eyebrow pencil like this, like Anastasia's Pro Pencil. Something like that. Some people find that easier to get an easy, straighter line, but I use the one like this. They basically do the same thing. Any concealer will do. It doesn't really have to be a specific one. And then the brushes that I use are, the main brush is a MAC 266 angle brush. Looks like that. I really can't do my eyebrows with anything else. This brush is pretty good. I like it. And then for concealer, I use this little brush right here, which I don't know where I got it from or the brand or anything. I know I got it from iMats, but I don't know the brand. So any little brush like this will do. I prefer a smaller brush like this. You can use a bigger one, a bigger concealer brush. It doesn't matter. I just prefer a smaller one because I feel like I have more control over it. And then you're going to need a spoolie. And that's pretty much everything that I use on my eyebrows. I've been doing them like this for years. I've never had them professionally done. I tweeze them myself. I'm just kind of scared to get them done by somebody else, but I'm very picky, so I just do everything myself. And I can go from morning till night and I don't have to touch up my eyebrows at all. I have oily skin, and even in the summer I don't have to ever touch up my eyebrows. So that's why I don't feel the need to have to use anything else or to change what I do, because it just works for me. If you find that your hair is kind of stubborn and goes different directions, after you're finished doing your eyebrows, you might run a little brow gel on them in the direction that you want, just so that your eyebrow hairs stay that way. But other than that, that's just everything that I do. I don't do anything else. Okay, so as you can see, my eyebrows are not very full. They're kind of sparse, especially in certain areas, and that's just because I overplucked them when I was younger. So don't be scared. It'll look alright. So the first thing I do is I use a spoolie and I kind of comb my hair in the direction that I want it to be. Most people's eyebrows, what they do is they'll comb their hair all the way up. But I have trained my eyebrows for the longest time, ever since I can remember doing them. I've kind of trained my hair, and it's just the way my eyebrow hair goes, that the front kind of goes up, and towards the middle I just comb it down. And that's just the way I like it personally. So that's kind of how I groom them. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take my brow powder and I'll use the darkest side first. I'm going to use the darkest side right now with my MAC 266 angled brush. So what I'll do is I'll kind of go from the front, the middle, and the front, and I'll take it in a straight line that way. Oops. That's where I want the darkest color to be, is all along the bottom of my eyebrow. So I'm going to take that and run that along all the way across. And really it doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to clean it up with the concealer, but I like to make it as perfect as I can, just so I have like a good guideline. And then, as you can see, I really don't have much on the end of my eyebrow, so I really want to make that a little darker, and I'm going to take that and just run it straight down like that. And then what I do is I take what's left on the brush and I kind of just go upward from that line and kind of blend that line upward, so it's not such a harsh line. And then what I do is I kind of stop doing the rest of the eyebrow and I concentrate on the end first, since there's so little there. I kind of do that first. So then there's already one line there. I'll just go and I'll connect from where my hair starts on the top, and I'll kind of just make another line straight down over that line that's already there, so it's just a little bit thicker. And again, I take my time doing the top line because I don't add any concealer to correct any problems on top. I don't personally really like that because I think it just looks even more drawn on, so I kind of just take my time when I'm doing the top. And you kind of just make it as thick or thin as you want. And again, you can always correct it with the concealer if you've messed up on any parts. And then I'm just going to take what's left on the brush and kind of fill in that top part right there. Okay, so now that I got the end done and I'm pretty satisfied with it, I am going to finish doing the top. And what I do is I'll take the lighter side of my powder and I'm going to use that side, and I'm going to just take a little bit. And what I'm going to do is, since I want it to look, I mean my eyebrows are pretty much drawn on, but I do want it to look as natural as possible, so I'm going to follow my natural hairline very lightly and just fill in the little sparse areas so it looks somewhat natural. I kind of have a little spot right here that just never grows back, so I kind of just fill that in too. And then for the very beginning, I kind of want that to be the lightest part and like a kind of a gradient effect. So what I'm going to do is I still have the lightest color on my brush, and I'm going to kind of just not add any more color, but just kind of feather that out upward and with the color that's left on it, so it kind of gets a little bit of color but not too much. And I'm just going to feather that straight up. Like that. I'm kind of taking that bottom line color and just feathering that up too, so it's kind of just all connects and there's no harsh lines. And if you don't have as much hair right here as I do, you can always go ahead and with the darker color, take it on your brush and kind of just flick it up this way, turn your brush around and flick it up this way to make like dark lines, almost so it looks like you do have hair there. You can always do that. And after I get it how I'm somewhat satisfied with it, I'm going to go ahead and take a spoolie brush like this and run it through my eyebrows. And I'm going to run it through the front a little bit more because again I want that color to be the lightest at the top. So I'm going to take that and run it through, and then I'm just going to run it through the whole entire brow just so it doesn't look too sharp or defined. I just want to kind of diffuse it a little. Make it look a little more natural. Okay, so after I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my concealer and my concealer brush, and I'm going to kind of carve out the bottom of the eyebrow. I don't do the top of the eyebrow like most people do. Again, just because I want my eyebrows to look a little more natural, as natural as possible. So I just do the bottom, and I'm just really doing it just to clean it up in case I made any mistakes or anything like that. And the concealer that I'm using actually does match my skin tone. It's a little bit lighter, but when I blend it out, it matches my skin tone pretty well. I don't like to go any lighter because I don't like my brow bone to be super highlighted. So that's why I choose concealer that's pretty much my skin tone. So then what you're going to do is you're going to pack on that color. Just to get a super clean line. Just to where you want it. To get that just... You can make your tail skinnier if you want, thinner if you want, and you can always make your tail, the tail of your eyebrow, thinner or thicker depending on how you want it. You can clean it up with concealer, but that's how I kind of normally do it. And then I kind of just leave it like that and then do the rest. And I kind of don't pack as much concealer in the front because I really don't need it. I'm just going to blend it down anyways. So the most is kind of right here at the highest point of your brow. And then after you get it like that, you pretty much don't need any more concealer. What I do is I just drag that concealer that's already up there down to blend it. Blend it downwards and out. And I usually like to do my eyebrows last after I've done all my eye makeup, just because it kind of helps blend your eyeshadow too when you're blending this concealer down. Kind of helps everything just blend a little more nicely. And then what I do is I run my finger along it like this, just to make sure everything's blended out a little more nicely. And that is pretty much how I do my eyebrows. I don't do anything else. That's it. I don't normally add, you can add a powder right here on top of the concealer that you applied so it can set it if you need it. I normally don't do that because I'm just in a hurry and I don't have time. But you can add a setting powder or your face powder or an eyeshadow if you would like to make that a little more highlighted. You can do that and it'll set the concealer so it makes sure not to move all day. But that's pretty much all I do. That's how I do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it a little bit helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.